show you how you can process customer drop shipments in Dynamics 365 Business Central. There are several steps. The first thing I'm going to do is enter a sales order to my customer. It's going to be a drop shipment. And then we'll create a requisition worksheet, load the sales order information into that worksheet. From that, we'll create a purchase order. Once the vendor has indicated they have shipped the items to the customer, I'll go back into the sales order and I'll ship and invoice that sales order. That will automatically receive the purchase order. I'll then go back to the purchase order and invoice that purchase order, and that will be the process. So let's get started. The first thing I'll do is create a sales order, and I'll make it for this client here. The item I'm going to sell to my client is this chair here. I'm going to sell it from my main location. I'm going to sell a quantity of 20. I'm going to mark this as a drop ship. And now the sales order has been priced. You can see that down here. It's ready to go. So the next thing I want to do is create a requisition worksheet. So I'm going to hit Alt-Q, click on Requisition Worksheets. And from here, I'll hit Alt-Q again, and I can bring up page actions. So I'm going to get sales orders. See this item right here. I'm just going to pull everything in. I actually have 3 different items that need to be turned into a purchase order. I'm not going to do all of them. I'll just do the one that's on this order here. I'll delete the others. So what I want to do now is take this item that's on my requisition worksheet and turn it into a PO. So I'll hit Process, Carry Out Action Message, hit OK. Now the purchase order has been created, so let's go back and look at that. Go to Purchasing and Purchase Orders. Here's the purchase order right here. If we scroll down here, we can see that the shipment is directly to a customer. It's this customer right here. It's not coming into my warehouse. It's going directly from the vendor to the customer. And now I've received information from the vendor that he has in fact shipped the items to my customer. So what I want to do is go back into that order and ship and invoice the sales order. Here's the sales order right here that we created earlier. I'm going to post this. I'm going to ship and invoice it. When I do this, this will automatically update the purchase order, showing that that purchase order has been received. The final step then is to go into the purchase order and invoice that purchase order. Here's a purchase order right here. If we scroll over here, we can see that in fact the items have been received. We received 20. Again, that was initiated by shipping and invoicing the sales order. So this is ready to invoice. I'll just enter the vendor's invoice number here, go ahead and post that. And now the invoice is in accounts payable, ready to pay. So this was the entire customer drop shipment process in Dynamics 365 Business Central. I created a sales order. I took that information and created a requisition worksheet, which then created a purchase order. Once the vendor indicated to me that he'd shipped the items to the customer, I went back into the sales order, I shipped it, and I invoiced it. This automatically updated the purchase order, indicating that the purchase order had been received. I then went into the purchase order and I invoiced that purchase order. And that's the complete process.